Words of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says if something is not all right and you would like to know the cause or want to get rid of a weakness or get cured or be cleansed, to have a difficulty removed in order to be purified, for any answer, come and ask Sri Aurobindo at the Samadhi and you will have the answer. Not only his answer but also his blessings, his compassion, his peace, and his illumination. You will be engulfed and seized by his love that is all powerful. With always our love and blessings, says our Divine Mother. Sri Aurobindo's Savitri, Book 7, the Book of Yoga, Canto 1, The Joy of Union, the Audio of Foreknowledge, page 466. Once more was near the fair and fated place, the borders gleaming with the grove's delight, where first she met the face of Satyavan, and he saw like one waking into a dream some timeless beauty and reality, the moon gold sweetness of heaven's earthborn child. The past receded and the future neared. Far now behind lay Madra's spacious halls, the white carved pillars, the cool dim alcoves, the tinged mosaic of the crystal floors, the towered pavilions, the wind-rippled pools, and gardens humming with the murmur of bees. Forgotten soon or a pale memory, the fountains splash in the white stone-bound pool, the thoughtful noontide's brooding solemn trance, the colonnades dream grey in the quiet eve, the slow moonrise gliding in front of night. Left far behind where now the faces know the happy silken babble on laughter's lips, and the close clinging clasp of intimate hands, and adoration's light in cherished eyes, offered to the one sovereign of their life. Nature's primeval loneliness was here. Here only was the voice of bird and bees, the ascetic's exile in the dim soul huge, inhuman forest, far from cheerful sound of man's blithe converse and his crowded days. In a broad eve with one red eye of cloud, through a narrow opening a green flowered cleft, out of the stare of sky and soil they came into a mighty home of emerald dusk. Words of our Divine Mother, taken from the collective works of our Divine Mother, Volume 16. Question: Sweet Mother, what's the meaning of one's birthday apart from its commemorative character? How can one take advantage of this occasion? For this, our Divine Mother says, Because of the rhythm of the universal forces, a person is supposed to have a special receptivity on his birthday each year. He can therefore take advantage of this receptivity by making good resolutions and fresh progress on the path of his integral development. Our Divine Mother always says, "Born faith with blessings." Significance of birthdays. Do you know, my child, what born faith signifies? That is what we wish here you on the birthday. Like that, I know what it means, sweet mother, says the child, but not the specific or the special significance you want to tell me. For this, our Divine Mother says, yes, it is truly a special day in one's life. It is one of those days in the year when the Supreme descends into us, or when we are face to face with the Eternal. One of those days when our soul comes in contact with the Eternal, and if we remain a little conscious, we can feel His presence within us. If we make a little effort on this day, we accomplish the work of many lives as in a lightning flash. That is why I give so much of importance to the birthday, because what one gains in one day is truly something incomparable. And it is for this that I too work to open the consciousness a little upward, so that one may come face to face with the Eternal. My child, says our Divine Mother, my child, it is a very, very special day, for it is the day of decision, the day when one can truly make a tremendous progress, when one can unite with the Supreme Consciousness. For on this day, the Lord lifts us up to the highest possible region, so that our soul, which is a portion of this eternal flame, can unite with it and absorb from the source. This day is truly an opportunity in life. One is so open and receptive that one can assimilate all that is given. I can do many things, that is why it is important. It is one of the days when the Lord Himself opens wide the doors for us. It is as though He were inviting us to further revive the flame of aspiration. It is one of the days which He gives us. We too, by our personal effort, could attain to this, but it would be a long, hard, and not so easy. And this is a chance in life, the day of grace. Our Divine Mother comments at a later date saying, it is an occult phenomenon that occurs invariably without our knowledge on this particular day of the year. The soul leaves behind the body and journeys up and up till it merges into the source in order to replenish itself and absorb from the Supreme its power, light, and ananda, and comes down changed for a whole year. Then again and again it continues like this, year after year. Each thing has a kind of rhythm. True meaning of birthday. Our Divine Mother says, it is not a question of a physical birthday or of the body. It is taken as an occasion for opening a new year of life with a growing new birth within. That is the meaning in which the mother takes the birthday. From the viewpoint of the inner nature, the individual is more receptive on his birthday from year to year, and thus it is an opportune moment to help him to make some new progress each year. Right use of birthday. Why should you decide beforehand that your birthday is spoiled? You have only to throw off all these undesirable ideas and feelings which proceed from a still imperfectly purified part of the external being and take the right attitude which you should always have when you come to the Divine Mother. There should be no other idea of what others have or have not. Your relation is between the Divine Mother and yourself and nothing to do with others. Nothing should exist for you but yourself and the Divine. Sri Aurobindo's words are these, which continues to say, nothing should exist for you but yourself and the Divine, yourself receiving her forces flowing into you. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, to secure that better, do not spend the time at your disposal in speech, especially if anything of the depression remains with you. It will waste the time in discussing things which cannot help the true consciousness to predominate. Concentration. Concentrate, open yourself, and let the Divine Mother bring you back to the psychic condition by which she will pour into you in meditation and silence. If you feel that you are living a new life, then it is good, but it can be more than the seed of a new birth, for it has to be realized by a greater inner opening. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, in what we call growing conscious, a perception in which the base is the psychic, though it may take place in the mind, vital or physical. No doubt the force that woke it up came from the Divine Mother. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo talks about the birthdays and says there is a rhythm, one among many, in the play of the world forces which is connected with the sun and the planets, that makes the birthday a day of possible renewal when the physical being is likely more plastic. For this reason, the Divine Mother sees people on their birthday, says our Lord. This is truly an opportunity in life. One is supposed to be open and receptive that one can assimilate all that is given, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. A wheel behind the heart, a lid over the mind divides us from the divine. Let me repeat, our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, a wheel behind the heart, a lid over the mind divides us from the divine. Love and devotion rends the wheel in the quietude of the mind, and the lid thins and vanishes. To keep the soul ready for the divine grace, says our Divine Mother, so that it may be ready to receive it when it comes. A persistent will for the work to be done in us and in the world is what is more needed. That is a sure spiritual result. The growth of the consciousness and the soul's readiness for the touch of the divine light and power. When the divine light enters into the inconscience, which hedges in all our being and prevents or limits the manifestation of the true consciousness in us, when it inhabits the habits and recurrences and constant repetition of the same stimuli which besiege us and rise from the subconscious, then only can the nature be wholly free and respond only to the truth from above. In faith and confidence and joy on the quiet and sunlit path towards the home of light and Ananda. Grow in your spirit in this new year of life. Grow in faith, grow in light, grow in consciousness. Devotion to the divine, fidelity to his work, obedience to his will are the first supports of integral yoga. On these pillars, all the rest can be supported. Tranquilize and widen your consciousness, go deeper into your soul. A clarified consciousness with strength to reject all inconscience and receive all that comes from the light. This should be the aim from before you. This should be the aim before you. Aspire always to grow more and more conscious so that all the small obstacles shall disappear from the physical consciousness and the obscurer parts of the vital nature. Keep yourself ready by faith and self opening to receive the light when it comes. Let the mind be quiet and receive the light. Let the vital be quiet and receive the force that delivers. Continue to open yourself, and the psychic consciousness will grow in you, and the light refine and illumine whatever is left in the shadows in the mind and vital being. An increasing advance on the road to the entire psychic change is what is most important in the sadhana, for that is the straight road to the spiritual transformation. Devotion, harmony, scrupulousness in work, a growing inner perception and consciousness, more and more fading of the more vehement movements of the vital ego are among the more prominent landmarks on the road. Matter, blind to the light, deaf to the call, the material consciousness and the material life are the last and most obstinate refuge of the inconscient. There, the nearer the light, the higher it raises its wall of resistance. When that is overcome, the deceptive transformation can have an open way. And Lord Sri Aurobindo says, let the new birth become manifest in your heart and radiate in calm and joy and take up all the parts of your being, mind and vision and will and feeling, life and body. Let each date in your life be a date of its growth and greater completeness, till all in you is a child of the mother. Let the light and power and presence envelop you and protect you and cherish and foster till all in your inner and outer existence is one moment and an expression of its peace and strength and ananda. Sri Aurobindo says in Collective Works of Our Lord Sri Aurobindo, Volume 35, about birthdays, and says, to persevere in turning towards the light is what is most demanded. The light is nearer to us than we think, and at any time its hour may come. Efface the stamp of ego from the heart and let the love of mother take its place. Cast from the mind all insistence on your personal ideas and judgments, then you will have the wisdom to understand her. Let there be no obsession of self will, ego drive in the act, love of personal authority, attachment to personal preference. Then the Divine Mother's force will be able to act clearly in you, and you will get the inexhaustible energy for which you ask, and your service will be perfect. Fidelity, devotion, self giving, selfless work, and service, constant aspiration are the simplest and most effective means by which the soul can be made ready and fit to be in the abiding presence of the divine. Lord Sri Aurobindo says, to light always and keep alight the psychic fire within, to light always and keep alight the psychic fire within, the fire of aspiration, devotion, and self giving, not to stifle it with the damp, smoldering logs of vital desire and egoistic reactions. If that becomes permanent and continuous, then it will be easy to bring down the spiritual transformation. Clarity of knowledge and inner self vision, subjugation of the ego, love, scrupulousness, and selfless and dedicated works are the four wheels of the chariot of integral yoga. One who has them will progress safely on the path, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Prayers for a sadhak written by Sri Aurobindo in one of the messages says, "Deliver me from anger, ingratitude, and foolish pride. Make me calm, humble, and gentle. Let me feel your divine control in my work, in all my action. I pray to be purified from self will and self assertion so that I may become docile and obedient to the Divine Mother in a fit instrument for her work, surrendered and guided by her grace in all I do. May I henceforth, with a firm determination, cast away from me my faults and defects. May I do it with energy and perseverance till I succeed entirely. May I get rid of all arrogance, quarrelsomeness, self esteem, and vanity, disobedience and revolt against the mother, hatred and rancor against others, violence of speech, conduct, falsehood, self assertion, demand, discontent, and grumbling. May I be friendly to all without malice against anyone. May I become a true child of the Divine Mother. You must make grow in you the peace that is born of the certitude of victory. Keep firm the faith in the victory of the light and face with calm equanimity the resistance of matter and human personality to their own transformation. Our blessings are with you always, says our Lord Sri Aurobindo. Our blessings are always with you, always. Persevere and have full confidence. Prayers and Meditations, July 27th, 1914. Humbly, quietly, my prayer rises to thee, O sweet Master, thou who acceptest without argument, without censure, all that is offered to thee, thou who givest thyself and make thyself known to all, without asking whether they are worthy of it or not, thou who findest nothing too weak, too small, too modest, too inadequate to manifest thee. Let me lay myself at thy feet, let me melt into thy heart and disappear in thee. Let me be annihilated in thy beatitude, or rather, let me be only thy servant, claiming nothing more. I desire, I aspire for nothing else. To be only thy servant is all I ask.
The Eternal suffers in a human form. He has signed salvation's testament with his blood. He has opened the doors of his undying peace. How shall he cure the ills he never felt? He carries the suffering world in his own breast.